Hello there, very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News. I'm Tracy Shilshi, and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting you a roundup of the news you probably missed through the night and also what to look forward to in the day ahead, starting with the headlines. Government's demonetization move completes 1 month and the opposition is to observe a black day. Central panel led by Chandrababu Naidu to hold its first formal meet. Over 150 nations raise objections to the cap on cash withdrawal in India and seek the Prime Minister's intervention. Foreign governments are now contemplating reciprocal measures against Indian missions abroad. Pakistan speaks in two voices over evidence against alleged Indian spy Kulbhushan Jadhav. Nawaz Sharif's advisor Sartaj Aziz says tells the Senate that the proof is insufficient, but the Foreign Office counters it. All 48 people on board the Pakistan International Airlines plane that crashed in Abbottabad are killed. 3 foreign nationals and popular singer-turned-preacher Junaid Jamshed are dead. And India takes on England in the 4th Test match at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai today. Will look to seal the 5-match series with a win. Well, it's been a month since Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the currency ban of 500 and 1,000 rupee notes on the 8th of November. Queues outside banks are still visible even as the Prime Minister advocates building a less cash society, asking farmers and traders to use mobiles as well as their bank and wallet. Opposition parties, though, have been working together this winter session to take on the government over its move and have decided on a protest dharna to mark the completion of 1 month of its implementation. The opposition parties, Congress, Left, TMC, SP, BSP, DMK, the NCP, RJD and the JDU will also take a call on whether to register their views in the House before the session gets over on the 16th of December in the 2 remaining working days next week, or allow the entire session to be washed out. In Mumbai, the Central Committee of Chief Ministers and experts on demonetization-related issues, headed by Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu, will hold its first formal meeting at the RBI headquarters in Mumbai today. Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Sikkim CM Pawan Kumar Chamling, Puducherry CM V. Narayanasamy, Maharashtra CM Devendra Fadnavis, Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Arvind Panagaria and Amitabh Kant, the CEO of Niti Aayog, are members of the committee. RBI Governor Urjit Patel on Wednesday said that demonetization would not have had an automatic impact on the central bank's balance sheet, putting credence to the view of many analysts that government may not make any windfall from the demonetization. Deputy Governor R. Gandhi also said between the 10th of November and the 5th of December, RBI supplied banknotes of various denominations worth about 4 lakh crore rupees. The government has also said that inflows into Jan Dhan accounts have come down significantly after it warned people not to allow their accounts to be misused for converting black money into white. The deposits in Jan Dhan accounts post-demonetization saw a sudden surge, but after the centre's warning against misusing such accounts, there has been a continuous fall in deposits in the last couple of weeks. The total amounts deposited during the 8th of November and 15th were 20,206 crore rupees, while during November 16th to 22nd, people deposited just 11,347 crore rupees in such accounts. This further decelerated to 4,867 crore rupees during November 23rd to the 30th. Total daily deposit in Jan Dhan accounts was 410 crore rupees on the 1st of December and 389 crore rupees on the 2nd of December. But the troubles for the government continue as the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps has asked India to relax the restrictions on withdrawal of money from banks and hope Prime Minister Narendra Modi will intervene as a large number of foreign missions reeled under funds crunch in the wake of the demonetization move. Frank Hans Dannenberg Castellanos, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, who represents the voice of 157 foreign missions in Delhi, said the foreign missions should have access to their funds to meet day-to-day operations and that the 50,000 rupee week cap on withdrawal was inadequate and must be lifted. In strong comments, he said that some big countries may think of reciprocating in the same way with Indian diplomats posted abroad if they continue to face the problem. Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan and a number of other countries have already approached the government on the issue. Russian Ambassador Alexander Kadakin, in a letter to the government, has already lodged a strong protest over the restrictions on cash withdrawal, saying it has severely affected the functioning of his embassy.
Tourists are in the country. Maybe they came before demonetization and they changed money and they're having a hard time getting their money back into their currency, or they're just leaving back to their country and they can't get their money back in their currencies. We also have a lot of medical tourism patients who have changed a large amount of money.
But the opposition's protests over the demonetization issue also remain unabated in the upper house. Even on Wednesday, the opposition parties reiterated their demand for the Prime Minister's apology and accused the government of causing hardships to the people. The government was quick to blame the opposition for causing disruptions over trivial excuses. No government business, though, could be transacted on Wednesday as the standoff between the government and the opposition stalled proceedings of the House again.
Demonetization issue continued to deadlock the upper house on Wednesday. Leader of the opposition Ghulam Nabi Azad alleged that the ill-conceived move had resulted in several deaths. He blamed the decision for a surge in unemployment while demanding an RBI update about the deposits and exchange of defunct currency.
इन 84 लोगों की हत्या के लिए कौन जिम्मेदार? कौन जिम्मेदार है इन 84 लोगों की हत्या के? एक स्कीम लाई गई बगैर सोचे समझे और जिसकी वजह से करोड़ों लोगों को लाइन में रखना पड़ा.
BSP leader Mayawati and SP leader Naresh Agarwal also slammed the decision to scrap the high-value currency notes and demanded Prime Minister's apology.
ये जो सत्ता पक्ष है इसने पूरे देश को विकलांग कर दिया. पूरे देश को स्टार्ट द डिस्कशन. यस, इस चर्चा को स्टार्ट द डिस्कशन. देयर इज ऑलरेडी अ डिस्कशन पेंडिंग इन द हाउस. यू स्टार्ट द डिस्कशन. उन्होंने देश को लाइन में लगाया है. ये माफी मांगे. जब तक माफी नहीं मांगेंगे हम लोग सदन नहीं चलने देंगे.
Leading the government's charge, leader of the House Arun Jaitley emphasized that the Prime Minister will make an intervention during the debate on demonetization. He accused the opposition of adopting an obstructionist strategy and disrupting the House proceedings.
ये कहा गया कि चर्चा इस नियम में हो, हम राजी हो गए. ये कहा गया प्रधानमंत्री जी क्या चर्चा में भाग लेंगे. सरकार ने कहा निश्चित रूप से प्रधानमंत्री जी चर्चा में भाग लेंगे. वो सदन में भी आते रहे, लेकिन किसी ना किसी बहाने को लेकर रोज उस चर्चा को रोकने का प्रयास ये सारा विपक्ष करता है.
In the midst of the sparring between the opposition and the Treasury benches, zero hour and question hour were both disrupted. The chair then adjourned the House till 2 p.m.
House is adjourned till 2 p.m.
Even in the post-lunch session, demands for Prime Minister's presence resonated.
We have to discuss everything in detail and we cannot pass it in such a situation. Before that, we have to complete the discussion which is already on the way, sir. And for that, you just ensure that the Prime Minister who is expected here for the discussion, because so many issues are here to be discussed.
The issue is we want to debate, but whom should we address? There are 14 ministers. Should I go around and go and talk to you? That is why when the Constitution says that this government becomes accountable, then the question is one person takes responsibility. This is not the monetary issue on which I am talking to Finance Minister. I am talking about 14 ministries. The coordinator is the Prime Minister.
2G scam, on the discussion on that was the President. I'm referring back. We all insisted, including me, that the Prime Minister should be present to listen to us. For 2 full days, the then Prime Minister was present.
The Congress alleged that India's global prestige had taken a hit due to demonetization.
For what has been
Finance Minister said he will do that.
Financial anarchy. India's image has been sullied globally. Who is answerable? Not Finance Minister. Is the one who addressed the nation that day.
Okay.
Like the super law.
Okay, fine.
It is he who is responsible.
The leader of the House rejected demands for a conditional resumption of the discussion on demonetization.
the Prime Minister has many other responsibilities. The Prime Minister will participate in the debate, and if the opposition wants a debate, let them be honest enough to say yes and no. Let them not impose unreasonable and impossible conditions for a debate.
As the logjam prevailed even after Jaitley's assertion, and with little signs of truce, the chair adjourned the House till Thursday.
House stands adjourned till 11 a.m. on Thursday, the 8th December 2016.
With inputs from Vishal Dhaya, Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the demonetization issue clouded Lok Sabha proceedings in the lower house as well. Although the discussions on the issue began, the opposition was adamant on its demand to have discussion with voting.
As soon as proceedings began in Lok Sabha, there was opposition uproar demanding a discussion on demonetization. All opposition parties came together for this demand. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anant Kumar said that the government was ready for a discussion on the issue.
Chairman sir, हमारे माननीय सांसद जितेंद्र रेड्डी जी के नाम पर जो 193 लगा हुआ है और कल से उन्होंने उसके ऊपर परसों से बहस शुरू किया है और आज कृपया उनको इजाजत दीजिए वो बहस शुरू करने के लिए.
Several opposition MPs had given notices for adjournment motion to discuss the issue, but they were rejected by the Speaker. A discussion under Rule 193 was scheduled for Wednesday, but opposition parties are adamant that any discussion should entail voting. A discussion under Rule 193 began in the post-lunch session, but opposition uproar ensued.
Discussion with voting! We want 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 discussion with voting! We want
Before this too, the House was adjourned twice due to opposition uproar. With inputs from Pranav Goswami and Ravindra Singh Shoran, Bureau Report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley on Wednesday said that the government regrets the transitory pain of demonetization, but the move will lead to a cleaner economy and better GDP growth in the long run. Defending the government's demonetization move, Jaitley said that the Prime Minister had the broad shoulders to face the consequences of this decision, causing some pain in transition, but which has also put India on the cusp of a major change. While addressing domestic and global investors in the petrochemical industry, Jaitley said that the current shortage in the cash system was being met by doing more digital transactions. He said that the long-term advantage of this new system will result in more money coming into the banking system, increase in capacity of banks to support the economy, and availability of low-cost funds with banks. The Reserve Bank of India opted to keep the key lending rate intact in the fifth bi-monthly monetary policy statement on Wednesday. The central bank chose to gauge inflationary pressures but affirmed to maintain an accommodative stance. The RBI also lowered the GDP growth estimates.
All 6 members of the RBI Monetary Policy Panel voted in favour of a status quo in repo rate at 6.25%. The RBI pegged inflation at 5% in the fourth quarter of 2016-17. It, however, added that the recent rise in crude oil prices present an upside risk to the inflation target. The RBI also lowered the GDP growth estimate to 7.1% in 2016-17 from the earlier projection of 7.6%.
The MPC was of the view that given the reduction of the policy rate of 25 basis points in October, which cumulated to a reduction of 175 basis points since January 2015, a further reduction in the policy rate is not warranted at this juncture.
Defending the demonetization effort, the RBI said withdrawal of the old notes could result in temporary reduction in inflation. It, however, cautioned that demonetization will result in short-run disruptions in cash-intensive sectors like retail, hotels, restaurants and transportation. The RBI also said that there was adequate supply of notes and urged people not to hoard new currency. The central bank claimed that it supplied 4 lakh crore rupees in new notes, while nearly 11.85 lakh crore rupees, or 80% of the junk notes, have come back into the system.
The decision was not and has not been taken in haste, but after detailed deliberations. The consequences that have emanated from that were taken on board, and that's why the planning, the process and the implementation was what it was, keeping in mind that high secrecy had to be maintained.
However, banks got a major liquidity boost with the central bank withdrawing the 100% cash reserve ratio requirement, which was imposed on November 26th.
Whatever incremental cash that was coming to the banks, which as we all know is in very large amount, on that the complete impounding which was done has been withdrawn.
After the central bank's decision, the Sensex, which gained over 148 points in early trade, fell to close down 156 points at 26,237, while Nifty reached its crucial 8,100 levels. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs in a meeting on Wednesday cleared a number of reform moves and infrastructure projects. The meeting, chaired by the Prime Minister, decided to roll over existing subsidy rates of fertilizers for another 6 months. It also approved reforms to boost employment generation and export in textile made-up sector to create employment for more than 10 lakh people. The Cabinet also gave its nod for the expansion of mandate for Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor Project Implementation Fund and for the construction of the first phase of metro rail for Pune, covering 31 kilometers at a cost of 11,420 crore rupees. The go-ahead to the 1,000 crore rupee proposal by the Election Commission to buy new electronic voting machines was also given. All right, what you were just reading there was, of course, of the appointment of Rakesh Asthana as interim chief of the CBI, and that has stoked a major controversy. Like you just saw, Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge wrote a strong-worded letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday, complaining that the entire process of appointing the CBI chief was vitiated. He alleged that a meeting of the committee that chooses the CBI chief, comprising the Prime Minister, Chief Justice of India and the leader of the largest opposition party of the Lok Sabha, who in this case is Kharge, was deliberately not called to facilitate giving the charge to a junior officer. Critics also say that Rakesh Asthana, a 1984 batch IPS officer, is too junior to even make it to a panel of possible candidates for the post of CBI chief. In his letter, Kharge also referred to the sudden transfer of R.K. Datta, the senior-most officer in line to be the next CBI chief. Datta was shifted to another department in the Home Ministry just 3 days before Anil Sinha retired as CBI chief. The controversy even reached Supreme Court, with lawyer and activist Prashant Bhushan filing a petition challenging Asthana's appointment, which the top court has agreed to hear on the 9th of December.
हम चाहते हैं कि कानून के तहत रूल्स के मुताबिक जो एलिजिबल है बेस्ड ऑन मेरिट, such people should be appointed as Director CBI.
With a quick break here, we'll be back with more national and international news in a bit. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. Let's get to some news from Pakistan, which has admitted that it has inconclusive evidence on alleged Indian spy Kulbhushan Jadhav, who is under detention in Pakistan. According to the media there, Nawaz Sharif's advisor on foreign affairs, Sartaj Aziz, admitted to the Senate that the dossier on Jadhav contained insufficient and inconclusive evidence. However, later in the day, the Pakistan Foreign Office, in a statement, refuted Aziz's remarks as absolutely incorrect, saying that proof against Jadhav is irrefutable. Kulbhushan Jadhav was reportedly arrested in Balochistan in March this year and has been accused by spying, by Pakistan in fact, of planning subversive activities. India has acknowledged Jadhav as a retired Indian Navy officer but denied the allegation that he was connected to the government. And staying with Pakistan, a Pakistan International Airline plane with 48 people, including crew members of the board on board, has crashed in Abbottabad. There are no survivors, and the reason for the crash is said to be engine problems.
No survivors after a Pakistan International Airlines plane PK661 with 48 people on board crashed and burst into flames in a hilly area near Abbottabad.
और इसमें कोई सर्वाइवर नहीं है, कोई बचा नहीं है। सारे मुसाफिर भी और क्रू भी जो हैं वो जान बहाक हो चुके हैं।
The reason for the crash was reported to be engine problems. The plane was on its way to Islamabad from Chitral in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province.
तकरीबन 4 बजे के करीब या 4:15 के करीब कंट्रोल टावर में इत्ला आई कि एक जहाज़ का इंजन जो है वो डेड हो गया है, फेल हो गया है। चंद लम्हों के बाद उसी जहाज़ से इत्ला आई कि वो मेडे की कॉल, जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं कि मेडे की कॉल उसने दी, और बस देखते देखते ही वो रेडार से गायब हो गया। और उसके बाद कोई 4:15 या 4:20 पर हमें ये इत्ला मिली कि कोई साइटिंग हुई है, धुआं नज़र आया है पहाड़ में।
3 foreign nationals are also among those killed. Popular Pakistani pop singer turned Islamic preacher Junaid Jamshed and his wife are also among the victims of the crash.
The entire Pakistan is in tears. We are all in grief because it is a major accident, a major plane crash where almost 40 plus people died along with the crew of PIA. And our beloved singer turned a religious scholar, Junaid Jamshed, he also died in this particular plane crash. We have no words. Everyone is in deep sorrow and grief. We just came here to show our sympathies to his family.
Army troops and helicopters were mobilized to the spot of the crash. Rescue operations went on through the night and the black box was recovered. PIA said the ATR turboprop aircraft has undergone regular maintenance and in October passed an A-check maintenance certification performed after every 500 flight hours. The airline said a full investigation of the crash involving international agencies would be conducted. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And in more international news, Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi officially resigned on Wednesday night after losing in a referendum on the constitutional reform. Renzi handed his resignation to Italian President Sergio Mattarella after giving a speech at the headquarters of the Democratic Party, while the president asked him to stay on in a caretaker role. The resignation has opened the way for the president to launch a round of talks with all party leaders in order to name a new prime minister and to form a transition government. Renzi's centre-left government had been trying to reduce the power of the Senate and reform the constitution to improve administrative efficiency, but his plan was rejected in a referendum held on Sunday, with Renzi announcing his resignation on Monday.
Noi siamo ben consapevoli della rilevanza di questo momento per l'aspetto istituzionale. C'è naturalmente un passaggio interno da fare che credo sarà duro e sarà molto duro nella chiarezza che deve contraddistinguere un grande partito democratico.
Secondo me l'Italia ha bisogno di un governo che riesca a governare, ne va anche la reputazione internazionale del nostro paese e quindi spero che il governo possa governare almeno per qualche mese.
Ma siccome non siamo in un paese normale, purtroppo temo che Renzi abbia preso malissimo la sconfitta e voglia una rivincita immediata. Grillo d'altra parte ha tutto il vantaggio a dargli questa rivincita immediata anche con una legge pessima.
Vogliamo che il Paese si esprima, quando si esprime fa delle grandi scelte, quindi perché non fidarsi del Paese Italia?
Syrian rebels have called for a 5-day truce to allow the evacuation of civilians after withdrawing from their last strongholds in Aleppo's old city. Rebels have said that the civilians are in great danger and they would support any initiative to ease their suffering. The US and 5 Western powers also put out a joint statement calling for an immediate ceasefire to allow aid into rebel-held areas. But the Syrian government has ruled out any further ceasefires. Government said that a victory in Aleppo would be a huge step towards ending the 5-year civil war.
هذا الانتصار بالتأكيد هو انتصار نوعي واستراتيجي في حلب وسيحول المسار بالكامل حتى في العملية السياسية من موقع إلى موقع آخر. بيعرف أنه هذه المعنويات أصبحت في الحضيض وأن هذه الانهيارات التي بدأت
And finally, let's get you some cricket news. And India will take on England in the 4th Test match to be played at Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium today. Team India will be eyeing to create history. If they avoid a loss in Mumbai, they will secure a 5th straight series victory for the first time in 84 years. In the last match played at Mohali, India recorded an 8-wicket win. In Visakhapatnam, a win by 246 runs, and the Rajkot Test ended in a draw. The home side is 2-0 ahead and will look to seal the series even with a draw, while England has to definitely register a win to stay alive in the series. On the team composition, India's lead fast bowler Mohammad Shami has reported sore knee, and middle order batsman Ajinkya Rahane broke his right index finger and has been ruled out of the series. Karnataka batsmen Manish Pandey and Mumbai seamer Shardul Thakur have been added to the squad as cover. However, India may bring Bhuvneshwar Kumar back in the playing 11 instead of Shami, and Karun Nair should retain his place in the middle order after Rahane's injury. Parthiv Patel retains his role as wicketkeeper, with Ridhiman Saha yet to recover from his thigh strain. KL Rahul might also be slotted back into the top of the order.
Currently, not really, because if you see whoever stepped in has given match-winning performances. You speak about Bhuvi, 2 times has come in St. Lucia once, and in Calcutta once. Both times he's picked up 5 wickets and been the match winner for us. So I'm not worried at all, because the guys sitting outside are waiting for opportunities.
All right, the best of luck to them. That's it on the Breakfast News. Thanks for joining us. Have a good day.